Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. As you can tell from the title of this video, today I am here to do another set of reviews for mangas that came in the Manga Spice Cafe box. And today I'm going to be reviewing the ones that came in the February box, I'm pretty sure. Every Manga Spice Cafe box, there are 3 different mangas that are included, and then one of them is spoiled each month, and then you get 2 mystery ones. I'm going to quickly go over each of them and then, get into details and review each of them as I continue to go along. I don't know why I'm making this so difficult, but the first one that I received in this box was Super Mario Manga Mania by Yukio Sawada, and here is what that cover looks like. The next one was Pokemon Mewtwo Strike Back's Evolution by Michio Gomi, and when I'm saying by, that means the story and art. And then finally, the last manga that came in this month's box, which is also the one that was revealed, was Solo Leveling Volume 1 by Chu Gong, and this one is actually technically a manhwa, which is a Korean comic, Korean version of a manga. So the first one that I'm going to start off talking about, because I really don't have much to say at all about this, is Super Mario Manga Mania by Yukio Sawada. So this one is basically a collection of short stories that are following, the different Mario characters, and each story is kind of based around a certain Super Mario game. I tried to start reading this. I had a feeling that I wasn't really going to be very interested in this anyway, and I was correct. So I read, I think, like 6 to 8 pages of the first story, and I just decided that it wasn't really what I was looking for, and I ended up just deciding to DNF. One thing that I think had a factor in that is that it's based around Super Mario games, and I've never been one to really play Super Mario games, like any Super Mario games. I don't have any basis to go off of those. Another major thing is that I just was not really a fan of the art style. I'm gonna kind of flip through, and hopefully it's not any really spoilers or anything, but all of the art style is basically similar, which of course is expected when you have one artist throughout the whole thing. It just seems really busy, and it's just a lot going on, and I don't know, it's just not what I was looking for. This might be a better example, because if you just look at the page as a whole, there's a lot going on, and a lot of it I just was not interested in. So after reading those first couple pages, I decided to just DNF it. I didn't want to waste my time with it, and yeah, sadly that's just something that is bound to happen when you're getting mystery books in a box. But good idea, just not something that I'm personally interested in. So moving on to the next one I'm going to talk about, which is Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution by Michio Gomi. I kind of thought I was going to have the same feelings about Super Mario with this one as well. I haven't watched anything to do with Pokemon since I was a lot younger, and besides basic characters and a basic understanding of how the world works, I didn't know anything about what could possibly be happening at this point in the story. The setup of the story is that there is a Pokemon who was cloned from an eyelash of a specific Pokemon. It was a fossil of a Pokemon, so they believe that the Pokemon doesn't actually exist anymore. But in cloning, they also add some like extra powers or something to this specific Pokemon, and as you can expect, the Pokemon kind of evolves to a completely different type of Pokemon. The Pokemon is called Mewtwo, so I'm just gonna say that so I don't have to keep saying Pokemon all the time. But Mewtwo is going through this journey of trying to figure out what its purpose is, and basically getting taken advantage of, and deciding that it has to go in and do its own thing. And that's where, you know, our typical characters Ash, Brock, and Misty come in. Mewtwo actually invites Ash along with some other Pokemon trainers to a specific island in order to battle it out to see who's best. And yeah, I don't know, I thought I was going to end up DNFing this, but I actually ended up finishing it. So although I didn't really know too much about how this story fit in with the overall universe, it didn't really matter to me, because I felt like Pokemon is one of those things almost where you can kind of just jump in and it is what it is. And that's how this story was, at least as far as this. It just had a lot of nostalgia, and I was just like, it almost makes me want to go back and rewatch Pokemon. But based on personal enjoyment, I would probably give this like 3 stars. And then once I get my final rating up, which I should have by the time this video goes up, I had a lot of fun with this, more fun than I was expecting to, and I did actually finish it, so that's great. And then the final manga or manhwa that I actually have to talk about in this video is Solo Leveling Volume 1 by Chu Gong, and this is the one that I said is the Korean comic. It's based off of a novel that was turned into a web comic, and this is basically a printed version of the web comic. So in this story, we're following this character named Jinwoo, who is a hunter. In this world, there are people who have certain abilities that are above a typical human, and in those people typically sign up to become hunters, or they have the ability to become a hunter. In that group of people, the hunters are ranked in letter formatting. I don't know, I'm making this super complicated. So I think E rank is the lowest, and then it goes up, so C, D, B, A, and then I think they have S, which is like a special rank, which is above all the other letters. We're following Jinwoo, who's actually an E rank hunter, and he's actually the weakest E rank hunter that has ever existed. He's doing this despite how weak he is, because his mother is in the hospital and he needs a way to be able to pay her bills, and being a hunter is kind of one of the easiest ways to make money faster, so he figures that that's the best way for him to go about that. And the way the job works is that there's typically some type of dungeon where once it reaches a certain level, these magical creatures can come out, and of course those magical creatures are trying to cause chaos in the world. So it's the hunter's job to either destroy or close the gate or whatever it is, the doorway in that dungeon, so that these creatures can't get out. But yeah, that's pretty much like a general idea of how the jobs work. And Jinwoo, being the weakest hunter that has ever existed, he typically is not going out on a lot of jobs that are seen as dangerous to other hunters. One day he's showing up for a new job, everyone is kind of happy, or there are a few people that are kind of happy because they're like, well, if he's here, then the job isn't going to be that bad. And it's like a large group of people. They head off to the dungeon and they think that the work is completed, but they realize that they can't get back to like the starting point or like leave, and they realize that there's something else going on, and they find out there is what is called a double dungeon. And things are not as harmless as they think it is, and a lot of this I feel like is just setting up for what the real story is going to be with the Jinwoo and how all of that is going to play out. And you guys, I freaking love this. This was like what I was looking for. I had a feeling that I was going to enjoy this once I heard about it and like looked a little bit more into it, but this was so good. It was just one of those things that I could almost picture like watching an anime for, basically. And I think that a lot of that had to do with the artwork, especially with the fact that we have full color. I think I showed this off in another video. I don't know if I posted that or not, but this got really crazy. And like, I've already pre-ordered the 2nd and 3rd volume because I loved it that much. I did already put this into Call Pal. It got 5 stars from me. It's just so much to happen in this that I loved, and I'm wondering how it's going to incorporate with him being a hunter, but it seems like there's some other stuff that's going on that hunters don't even know about, but it's still kind of a big mystery of what is actually going on. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm being super vague with this, but honestly it was super vague in itself. If this sounds even remotely interesting to you, go pick it up or request it from your library or whatever it is you want to do. This was so good and I want more, and I kind of wish that there was an anime out for it, because this is something that I would probably stick with like weekly because it was that good to me. So with that being done, here are all 3 of the manga slash manhwa that came in the February Manga Spice Cafe box. Like I said, this got 5 stars. I'm not quite sure yet what this one got, but it's probably going to end up being around 3 stars, and it should be up on the screen for you. And then this one I DNF'd. Let me know what you thought about this, and if you would be interested in checking out any of the mangas that I reviewed in this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more from me, make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again in the next one. Bye.